Following the lukewarm reaction to WrestleMania 18, Yuke's and THQ went back to the drawing board. They had a decent base for a wrestling video game, even if their opening gambit was lackluster in terms of replayability. This title carries the name WrestleMania, but can it live up to the grandest stage of them all? This time around, THQ and Yuke's have made a concerted effort to make this feel like an updated version of the Nintendo 64 games. The controls are almost dead on, with A being for grapples, B being for strikes, Y being for running, and X being context-sensitive actions like leaving the ring and grabbing weapons. There's also the Spirit Gauge too, with you starting off at a healthy green and either progressing to a pulsating red as your momentum grows, or dwindling to a weak blue as you get beaten down. This also returned to the form of the special move state where you build up a finisher icon, and by hitting A and B at the same time, you get into the zone and be able to hit as many finishes as you can within a short time frame. You can store up to 3 of these, and if your opponent is lucky enough to counter a finisher, they are immediately rewarded with a stored icon of their own. This game is fast and frantic, and nothing encapsulates this more than the Fatal 4-Way Steel Cage match, which is by far the most frustrating match type I have ever played, which led to the destruction of one of my controllers. Joining cage matches are ladder matches, table matches, Hell in the Cells, and TLC. Speaking of Hell in a Cell, one of my favourite things to do in the game is fight up to the top of the stage and chokeslam my opponent from the stage to the unforgiving concrete. Now that's cool, and you can do it from the top of the cell too. This game also featured the debuts of several WWE superstars such as former WWE champions Rey Mysterio, John Cena and Batista, but also forgotten superstars like Chris Nowinski, Dawn Marie and Chavo Guerrero Jr. By default, the generic core we start off with looks quite like a Caucasian crash test dummy. However ugly it may look in general, WrestleMania 19 has a hell of a feature on its hands here. Starting off with the core system itself, you have the ability to not only add clothing, but add moving objects such as water fountains, so it looks like you can never stop pissing, compact discs, buzzsaws alongside static items like shades, bandanas, and a shield. That's one of the more unique things about this game that didn't make it into future iterations. The create a moveset feature is basic as they come, however you're allowed 8 slots to fill with finishes for almost any situation. This works well, especially if you want to create a Puroresu based super monster who has a basic finisher like a powerbomb, a backup like a lariat, and a rarely seen kill move like a release dragon suplex. Or even someone like Brock Lesnar who has the F5 but is rarely able to bust out a shooting star press if he wants to. Finally, we have one of the deepest created entrance systems created. Almost everything is customizable and it really rivaled the Raw 2 create an entrance suite that came out virtually alongside it on the Xbox. Camera angles, pyrotechnics, light colors, name it, it's in there. It's a shame they still haven't been able to translate it into the main WWE series. And I should add that this was the first WWE game to have a paint tool mode. And no, I still can't use it. WrestleMania 19 doesn't actually have a career mode. Instead, you can take a superstar or create a wrestler into what is called revenge mode. The story begins with you being turfed out from an arena because Vince McMahon's a gigantic ass clown who has you fired unceremoniously. Before you can yell, "They took my job!" you're thrown at the feet of the billion-dollar princess Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie isn't exactly in her father's good graces either, so she dangles the golden carrot for a little quid pro quo action. You wreck WrestleMania, and you get paid. What better way to fill your wallet than wanton illegal destruction? The only thing stopping you is that builders, security guards, and other randoms want their jobs safe, so they try to stop you. Sucks to be them though as you battle your way through half-finished arenas, parking lots, and a cargo ship using wrestling moves to complete your plan. Oh, and you can throw people off of said half-finished arenas so you can become a murderer too. Excellent. Let's just pretend they only died in kayfabe, yeah? Saves us from having to think of the mourning children, grieving widows, and WWE don't have to produce the Raw is Nameless Grunt tribute show. Excuse me one sec.
Murderized!
WrestleMania 19 is the perfect precursor to a fantastic series of WWE games on the Gamecube. There are some things that occur in this game that still haven't been replicated elsewhere, whether it's superstars actually walking through the curtains at the designated side, Or Kurt Angle actually pulling down his straps when he gets in the zone? There's so much to discover that it's cool to just sit there and marvel at what THQ and Yuke's have accomplished with this title. They saw what needed to be improved from WrestleMania 18 and more than delivered. While the choice of stages isn't as vast as other titles, or the selection of game modes, the gameplay itself is a huge selling point that drags you back in to kick more and more ass, especially with a party of 4. Plus the one-time innovations in the Creator Wrestler mode just add to the awesomeness. Maybe take some time out with buddies, have a gaming party and create some weird and wonderful wrestlers and just have fun. This is the perfect game to do it in.